you don't eat these. You don't eat lanzonis. I know. If I give you one, you're not going to eat it. Well, good morning. Today is day 4. Today is day 4 of the Tiki Bar project. Now, we haven't really done a full day's worth of work on any day with this project. So a little bit here, a little bit there, because there are obligations. There are household obligations that need to be done, as well as general admin type of things, answering emails, working on videos, and the such. So I don't have a lot of hours into the project yet, but we're going to take our time. Oh, by the way, these are lanzonis, and I have to thank my neighbor, Henry for dropping these off. Henry and Lutz for dropping these off over here at the house. Henry has a bunch of lanzonis trees. I know you. Are you gonna eat this if I give it to you? No, he doesn't eat fruit. He certainly. I always waste when I try to give him something. Now, Marianne, she'll eat buko, she'll eat coconut, she'll eat whatever you give to her. Anyway, today's project is going to be, I'm kind of off track. Today's project is going to be cutting some granite. The granite will be the top layers of granite that will be used for the top of the Tiki Bar. And I will talk about best practices as far as cutting, oh my goodness, bees. Look at the bee swarm.
No.
And there they go. That's incredible.
Where?
Look at that, bee swarm.
Oh, terrible.
Oh, we get that every now and then. Bees, they have places around here where they do beehives and they make honey and things like that. And every now and then, just I don't know if you caught that. I don't know if you saw it go by or heard it, but we'll have a big swarm, thousands upon bees. They just kind of go and just buzz off to another location. They don't bother you, and it's kind of interesting. I don't know if it's a migratory kind of a thing or a going to their beehive type of a thing. I don't know what it is. It's kind of neat.
Bee migration.
I don't know. So anyway, that's what today is. Now, yesterday we took delivery. We took delivery of our granite that we purchased at Wilcon. They came and they delivered. Everything was in perfect shape. The Wilcon team did a great job. We put that down inside the basement, and then this morning I worked with my gardener to help me lift one of the pieces of slabs up on to just make sure it fit as I measured it out properly on there, and it does. Everything fits really good. So today's project again is going to be cutting some granite, and I still have to get some other materials, and we'll talk about that a little bit later this morning. So let's go ahead and get started with today's project. So let's go ahead and go down into the basement and take a look at the pieces of granite that we took delivery of. So as you can see, me and the gardener, we went ahead and placed this one on the top just to see if it fit the way I expected, and it does exactly how I built the base for it. And here's the other slab. This other slab right here will go on this side. Now what I am planning on doing, I need to cut this slab at a 45-degree angle here, cut that slab on a 45-degree angle there, and join them. And what it will be a nice union of the two pieces of granite. We have something similar to a bullnose right here. So the bullnose going this way, going across that way, the bullnose on that. Actually, it's on this side over here. It will be a nice finish. Now, you can always do some sanding of this right here with the grinder and the proper disc, and you can get the same finish on this right here. Because you could, if you wanted to, you could take this piece right here at a 90-degree angle and butt it right up against this right here and use some adhesive to do these together, but it doesn't look nearly as nice and finished as if you went on a 45-degree. 45s are always the best way to join two pieces of granite, in my opinion. Now, let's talk a little bit about what you need to do this. Now, probably the best way to get a perfect finish is when you order your granite, it would be to the company that you order from. Tell them you want one end to be done and a 45-degree cut. Oh, one end on each one of your slabs. Explain to them that you want to join them together. And they will make sure, because they have the big cutters, the granite cutters that can give you perfect cuts on each end. Well, here in the Philippines, it's a little bit more difficult in the rural area, in the provinces, in the smaller cities outside of Manila to find. I'm not saying that you can't. It's probably someplace in downtown Lipa that does that. But when you order from like the big box stores, they're not going to do it for you at the big box stores, which is what we did here. So we have to do it ourselves. So the first option really would be to have a professional do the cutting, bring them here, and all you have to do when what you get here is to mount them on your platform, your frame that you have, and join them together. The second option that you would have is if you have a granite cutter with a type of a blade that's used for cutting granite, and it looks like a little mini circular saw. And nice thing about it is the bottom is flat, so as you go across, you can get a nice 90-degree cut on the outside down on this area. We don't have that here, and we're not going to invest in that. We're kind of on a budget for this project right here. Then the last option, which is what we're going to do because we're on a budget, we're going to use the resources that we have available, which is a grinder. We're going to take a regular grinder using a granite blade that's on there, a granite disc. And what we're going to do, we're going to try, and we're going to do it kind of the Filipino way, the way when we were building the house here, our tile people used our grinder to cut all of our granite, and they did a pretty good job. I probably can't do as good a job as they do because they've been doing this forever, but I'm going to do it. It's a home project. I'm going to try to do the best that I can. So I will use the grinder to cut a 45-degree on this one, the next one, and then we will join them together. Now you're going to probably ask, what do I need to secure the granite slab to the framework underneath, the 2x4 framework? Well, there's two types of adhesive that we're going to use. One that I don't have that I still have to go out and find. One that I have, and you saw me pick up the other day at Wilcon. So the actual laying of the granite top, setting on the framework here, we're going to use liquid nail. That's all we're going to use is liquid nail. What we'll do is we'll put a bead of liquid nail on the 2x4 studs that we have on here, and we'll lay the granite down on it, making sure that we have the right spacing all the way around, and allow that to seal. And that will be done after we do the 45-degree cut on the end, because we're not going to move it after that. Then, after we do that to the first one, the second one, after we know that the angle is perfect, everything lines up or as perfect as possible, we're going to do it in a two-stage process. The first is we're going to run a bead of the liquid nail here. And then the second thing we do, we're going to mix up a batch of epoxy granite adhesive. And what that is, it's a two-part mixture. It's epoxy and resin. It's like a hardener when you put the resin in with the epoxy. It's extremely strong, and it's normally what you would use to put together or connect two pieces of granite together. It's much stronger than, say the liquid nail or any other type of a bonding type of adhesive. So we still have to go out and we have to pick up some of that. I actually have some here that I could use. It's a small tube that I brought in from the US, and we might use that for just that one small section right there, but I want to save what I have for some other projects, so we'll see. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with marking off the granite and doing the grinding and hopefully getting a very nice clean cut. Now what we're going to use this morning to try to get the best precise 45-degree cut as possible, we're going to start off using a square tool, the Swanson Speedlight Square. This comes in multiple sizes. I don't know if you can find this over here in the Philippines, maybe something similar to it, but this is really good. And the reason I like this is because it's made out of this like composite fiberglass type of material, and it'll last a lifetime. It won't rust or anything like that, so you'll get a lifetime's worth of use out of this. We're going to use this to make our 45-degree angle on the front here. But before we do that, we're going to put down some tape, and we're going to draw our line on the tape. If you have tape, I advise you don't have my dog Capone around your house because this is what he uses for chew toys. Anything he finds that I leave on the floor, he kind of does. But we're going to use this. We're not going to throw this away. We'll use the resources that we have available. Of course, a pencil to do the line. And then you're going to need something like this. You're going to need either a saw. This is a grinder. This isn't a granite cutting saw. A granite cutting saw looks like a table saw or a circular saw. And the nice thing about that, you get a perfectly straight cut and you don't have to be so accurate with the eyes like this. But this is commonly used in the Philippines to do small projects, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to do this and try to be as accurate as possible. Make sure that it says on there that it's used for granite. This is used for marble, tile, and block as well. This is a new blade. I had to take off the old blade. If you're starting on something and you want it to be precise and you want it to look nice and clean without splintering, with the least amount of effort, start with a new blade. So we're going to use this one. They come in different thicknesses. This one says ultra thin, and the ultra thin will help you get a very clean, fine cut. They come in different thicknesses, and if you get some that are too big, you'll get a lot of splintering and possibly some chips. But the tape, you're wondering, not only is the tape used to do your marking, but the reason you use the tape, that will keep the top of your finished section of your granite from chipping. This is a security measure for you. And of course, always have safety things, some gloves. I have my glasses, some safety glasses, and if you have hearing protection, also use hearing protection. I know a lot of times on the channel, I don't really talk too much about safety, but you always, I try to mention it as much as possible. It's one of those kind of things I always say, don't do as I do, do as I say. Well, actually, that's what my dad always told me, but it's kind of the theme that I use as well. Always remember about safety, safety first. So anyway, we have everything we need here. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, well, using a grinder didn't seem to be too bad. I was able to get pretty close tolerance. If you look, you can kind of see, looking at the level right here, it's fairly good. I had to do a little bit of an adjustment on both ends because that seems to be where you tend to go in and go out, and that's the area where you would normally make your first little kind of be off just a little bit. But I was able to adjust on both ends, and it's good here. So it's enough inside there, so once we put adhesive, as long as the next piece that goes up against this is as square as this one right here, it'll be just a minor epoxy adhesive that will go inside there that you'll see. Very, very little, so it looks good. And remember, epoxy adhesive for granite epoxy adhesive is transparent. So you'll kind of see the color. You won't see any other different colors. It'll mix well with the granite itself. Okay, well, the next thing I need to do, I need to go ahead and cut the second piece that's down here on the floor. I'll lift it up on some 2x4 so I don't do any damage. I didn't worry too much about this right here. If I have a little cut that goes through the 2x4, you're not going to notice it, because remember, we're going to just put some glue. We're going to do liquid nail on the top of this, so it's no problem. But on the floor, we want to make sure that we don't go through and damage the tile. So I'll lift it up with some 2x underneath it, and then we'll do the cut on that one. And then later on this afternoon, when my gardener comes, he and I will go ahead and lift everything to make sure everything matches properly. And then we actually might be able to go ahead and glue both pieces to the top. Okay, so let me go ahead and go for the next one. Now, you might be asking, James, why aren't you doing this outside? Really, you should be doing this outside. But again, it's just me here, and when you only have one person, you just can't bring things in and out, in and out. Now, it's causing a little bit of dust inside here. I have everything blowing to the outside out this window, but we're still getting some residual dust. That's why I put some towels over some of the band gear over there. But we'll do a full cleaning when we get done with this, and everything will be back to normal again. That's part of construction. You're going to get dust in areas where you keep things. The best thing to do is if you could have a whole room totally cleared out, but that's just not an option right now here. So let's go ahead and get the other piece of granite cut. So as you can see, it's about 4:15. And if you remember, we said a couple of days ago that today's the day that the Samsung technician, remember we called in a work order to have the Samsung TV up on the second floor serviced, because it doesn't work at all. It's I think the graphics power supply is burnt out on it. Well, I called up this morning. I actually had a chat with the Samsung representative on the Samsung website for the Philippines, and I said I just want to verify, because in the original chat said that they were going to call me. The service technician for this area would call and verify an appointment. Well, they never verified an appointment. I got nothing from them, so I called up. Or I went into the chat again and I spoke with the online person, and they said that, they're scheduled to come out today between 11:30 and 6 p.m. As you can see, it's 1/4 after. I got an hour and 45 minutes, something like that. Yeah, an hour and 45 minutes for his window to come here. So we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I always give them the benefit of the doubt before I call up and say anything. Or go back into that same chat again. But right now, I can't say it's looking bad for Samsung, but if they don't come, it's going to be looking bad for Samsung as far as their reliability for customer service. Well, we'll see. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about, the reason I came back down here, I can't do any more down here. We're done for 24 hours down here inside. You can see both of the granite slabs, they're in place. The countertop is in place. Now, there's still more that has to be done to this countertop. One of the things that has to be done, again, the edges are going to have to be smooth. And I'm thinking about doing kind of cutting into this just a little bit, make it come back. This doesn't need to be this big right here. We'll see. I'm not really sure. I want to do a design so that I might leave it. I might leave it this size. I might decide, oh, this really looks good. I won't know until I get the bottom section of granite that's going to go inside here. Then I'll look at it and see how convenient it is to work. If you have like putting cups in hot, it might be okay, because I'm kind of standing right now where I'd be serving people, I guess, if I were inside here. Oh, we'll see. Now my 45-degree cut with the grinder, not too bad, not too shabby. I'm going to leave this on here to do some curing along with the and that's for the epoxy, along with the liquid nail that's up underneath here. I don't know if you can see. I really won't be able to see too much of the, only whatever spilled out, which is just a little bit, like right up inside here. So this just needs some finishing done. Remember, we'll take the device. We have the disc wheels that we can take, and we can smooth the edges on here. So this side actually looks like the bull nose on the front up here. And then we'll do some polishing as well. The next thing I need to do, I'm waiting for the Samsung guy, and if the Samsung guy doesn't come, that means we're going to probably waste another day waiting for him. But we have to go out and we have to purchase whatever we decide. I don't know if it's going to be the matching of this, because this was kind of expensive. I might get something a little less expensive for the second section down here. Now I would love to continue and finish putting the plywood up in this section up here. This is where all the electrical is going to go. But I can't do that until I have the next layer of granite in place, because I don't know what the thickness. It's usually going to be about, I can estimate it, but I don't want to estimate it. I want it to be nice and tight when I put everything inside of here. So I'm waiting on the granite, and then we'll put the whole section of the plywood inside there. And I think I have leftover pieces. I think 2 of the long pieces right there that'll satisfy that requirement inside there. And then what's left over on the work table over there is for the outside. Remember, we're going to have to do this, but we're not going to do any of the outside here until we get all of our electrical wires, our cables, our conduit, our boxes, everything installed from the outside. Now, before I sign out for today, I kind of want to show you some of the growth that's going on in the backyard, some of the fruits and the state that they're in. I want you to look at the Lakatan bananas here. Not quite ready to cut and eat, but it's getting close, and these are doing really good. It's getting pretty heavy. It's getting so heavy. I think the banana plant is starting to lean more and more all the time. But we'll remember, when you harvest your bananas, whether it's Sabah or Lakatan, whatever variety that you have, when they're done and you harvest it and you pull them off, it's time to go ahead and get rid of Mama. Oh, we don't want to get rid of Mama, but you have to get rid of Mama, because you want to be able to promote all the little babies down there. See the little seedlings down there? And they will grow, because these will only grow bananas one time. They're a one-time good deal. Then you'll get rid of your banana plant. And let's go ahead and take a look at the other banana. It's a Lakatan variety, but it is not It is not the exact same variety of Lacatan. And we'll see how they do. I don't think they're going to get really big and fat and juicy like the ones over here. Then we'll make a determination probably. If they're good and they're just a different variety, then we'll keep both varieties back here. But if the one that grew these massive, these really nice, perfectly looking bananas over here, if they do much better than the other side, what we'll do is we'll probably get rid of that variety on the other side, and we'll just put this one, we'll take the seedlings and put it on the other side as well. Also, everything else is doing really good back here. Remember that papaya tree? The papaya tree that we transplanted and we thought, oh, it's dead. It's definitely, it's a goner. Well, let's see what it looks like here. So it survived the transplant really good. The cacao is doing great here. Everything. Ever since Emily, remember Dave and Emily, the farmers, came and visited us, and they put down some of that vermicast, and they put a little bit of fertilizer down. Everything around here seems to be doing really good. Even this guava apple, this right here, this, I will tell you, I believe overnight, this thing grew 6 inches or more, maybe 10 inches right here. I walked out here because I thought they were all the same size. I walked out here this morning and I looked at this, I said, it's as tall as I am. It's crazy. And my favorite lemon tree, oh, I love lemon tree. This one right here, this is not the Jurassic lemon, this is actually a perfect type of a lemon. And it's still growing, and we'll just keep an eye on this one as well. And our very last sun-kissed orange, which I think I'm feeling is right. You know what? Let's go ahead and pick this guy. Yeah, breakfast tomorrow morning. And just probably another week for the last push of the calamansi that we have here. And we'll use this for all kind of dishes, some tea, also with some of the food we added to like the soy sauce. Even look at all the new push of the growth on the Chico plants. We have 2. These did nothing for such a long time, but ever since Emily came and put her magic fingers on here, everything started growing like crazy. Same for this one. You see all the smooth growth on this Chico as well. I didn't see you much today. Where have you been? What have you been doing all day?
Working.
So that's going to be it. That's going to be it for today. Tomorrow, I cannot do anything. We're going to let that cure for 24 hours. I don't know if the Samsung guy is going to come. If he doesn't, I'll make a service check call request this evening and say, why didn't your guy show up? Not good if they don't show up. Because, people stay home all day sometimes. They don't go to work because they know they have a service tech coming out. But we'll see. We'll give them the benefit of that. What time is it now? I think it's about another hour. Almost 5. So he's 1 more hour to show. We'll see. So the yard is watering. We were supposed to get rain today, so I stopped. Well, actually, the weather meter, the software stopped the irrigation for today. But it's been like this. Look at the sky. Does that look like rain to you? Doesn't
There's
look.
Black clouds there.
Oh, way over there.
Over there.
Yeah, but it's way over there, and the wind's blowing that way, I think.
Yeah.
So I got the irrigation running. If you probably heard it when we were over by the raised bed garden, so we'll let it run today. Anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. This continuing updates on the Tiki Bar. Now, we are approaching how many? We're approaching 20,000 subscribers on. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to have a party. I wanted to have a Tiki Bar, break into the Tiki Bar party to coincide with our 20,000th subscriber. Now we're not there yet. I think we're about 1,500, but probably soon, and probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm thinking we might be near 20,000. And I really want to do a celebration. I want to thank all of you who are subscribers who are making us get to that point right there, or allowing us to get to that point. As far as I want to break into Tiki Bar, I want to invite some people over. This has been a lot of work. Not really. It hasn't really been that much work. Like I said, I really haven't spent that much time down there. A little bit at the time. It's something to keep me busy each day. But what I want to do, this is going to be really cool, and I don't know how I'm going to do it. I've been thinking about it. I don't know if we are going to just do a regular recording, or maybe we'll do a live. Well, maybe we'll do a live session because we're going to set up the band. I asked Kit Sanchez, who is our drummer. I said, would be interested in the three of us just getting together and entertaining some neighbors and family down there. And he said, yeah, that's cool. Let's do that. So we might do that. Let me know what you think. Do you want us to do a 20,000th subscriber / Tiki Bar? What do you call that when you break the wine glass or the champagne on the side of a ship?
Baptism.
Oh, that's not a baptism. Baptism is when you stick the head down in the water. And no, it's not baptism. Christening. It's not christening. Is it a christening of the ship? Do they call it christening of the ship?
Okay.
I think it's called christening of the ship. I don't know, but I will edit this out later on if I am totally out of the ballpark. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll do like a whatever for the Tiki Bar to coincide with both, and we'll have live music. We'll have just invite a bunch of people. What do you think? Anyway, well, that's enough. That was a long closing for today. If you enjoyed today's video, please give us a thumbs up. Please share. And if you have not subscribed, just click on that little My PI Dream Heart in the bottom right hand side of your screen. You'll be subscribed and you'll be notified. Oh, the sprinkler's coming on. The next time we upload a new video. So until such time, you have a wonderful and I'm getting wet, blessed day. If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you are interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.